feel a little.
It's your girl Ella Links here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another edition of Think Out Loud with your girl Ella Links. Thank you to everybody who subscribed. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to share. We want more and more subscribers. Remember in my intro, I said there are going to be days where we're going to do this with pants on or pants off, okay? This is one of those days where I prefer to have my pants off. As you can see, I'm all in costume. Let's be prepared to be linksified. Oh, yes. Let me tell you something. I have not behaved a day in my life. I am absolutely fine, okay?
I have not behaved one single day of my life. Not one day of my life have I behaved, and I am fine.
All right. How do you like my costume? I got the matching set. I even have the slippers. But it's all from different vendors. Look at that. Even have a little tail going on here. All right. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for your questions. All right. This is a very funny question and it's a very tricky one, right? This is what was sent to me. It came in as anonymous, but I have a sneaky feeling that it's someone who is very close to me, and that's the reason why they felt the need to go anonymous. All right. This is what they asked. They said, Ella Links, we have watched you grow up. We have seen you and we've seen your style somewhat evolve. Back in the days when we met you, you used to dress up like a guy, you were a tomboy and everything. So it kind of fascinated them to see me all in dresses now and then and things like that. So that brought them to the question. They said to me, they've seen me do things in the past. Am I bisexual? Am I into girls? Am I into all that stuff? Okay. That was a funny question. I have never thought my sexuality could ever be anything confusing to anybody. I just thought, it is what it is. I didn't think there was any interpretation to anything. All right. Now this is it. This is me thinking out loud, right? True. I am not a girly girl, okay? I have never been a girly girl, and to be honest, I don't think I could ever be a girly girl. Remember, I don't want to be put in a box. I actually don't think I can be put in a box. Now, having said that, I grew up in a male-dominated environment. The men had the upper hand in doing everything. You, the women, just had to abide by the rules and do as you're told and all that stuff. Okay? So early on, when I was able to speak up for myself, and sometimes when necessary, I had to raise my voice and do things like, oh, women don't behave like that. Those are men qualities. I didn't like skirts. I like wearing pants because I used to play in the hood. I was very rough. I like to play football. I like to play soccer and all that stuff. And most of the games that were typically associated with women, I would play, but I had an edge because I was very hype and very energetic. People thought, my best competition would be against the guys, okay? So yes, I was very tomboy. I would grow up, I would raise the cattle, go graze the goats, jump on trees, hang upside down. But at the same time, people didn't believe it. I was very domestic, okay? My upbringing was that you're meant to serve. All right, even though in the house where I grew up, my mom or my parents tried to make it clear that these are not gender roles, okay? Let anybody jump in where possible. But for the main part, that is what I grew up accustomed to. We had the role of being, we used to serve. And I still have no problem serving because I like to do that. But if you come across as if it's some entitlements, your God-given right to look down on me as a man, especially from the background that I'm from, as a man and think you can just behave anyhow, talk anyhow because she's a woman. She has no voice, she has no say. You have to do what it is that I say. And you're this numbskull, just open your mouth, you have nothing to bring to the table. You think you can just talk to me like that. I don't know. There will be a problem. I don't even think there'll be a problem. I'll cut you off, you're gone, you're lost. Bye, adios. All right, going back to what it is that we're saying. So most of the men will shy away from it because they say, oh no, she's too manly, she's too buff, she's too rough, she's too tough. They prefer the most submissive, quiet, and unopinionated kind of woman, right? I have never been like that. I will never be like that. And I'm just happy. That's why I do me. Straight up. That's why I do me. So very early on, I made that very clear. You will never be everybody's cup of tea. Okay, there's some people who adore me. There's some people who like me. There's some people who can't stand me, who hate my guts. That is okay. You can't love everybody. Let me tell you, Jesus Christ was the Son of God, the holiest man on earth. Did everybody like him? Absolutely not. So it's going to be absolutely stupid and it had been naive of me to think that I'm going to be liked by everybody. Absolutely not. If you like me, that's fine. If you don't like me, that's okay. At the end of the day, I need to do what makes me feel good, what makes me feel happy, what I can go to bed lying down with and being comfortable with, okay? This is your girl, Ella Links. I do me. Straight up. Back into that, somebody asked me, we read in your other video this hashtag about you call yourself the Bantu Queen for Life. Yes, I'm originally from Africa, okay? And the Bantus are notable typical physical features. The thick lips, the big nose. My lips are thick, my nose is big. I used to be bullied when I was younger. People used to make fun of me, make allusions to me, to my big nose. It's still there. It's one of my greatest features. I have no reason and I have no desire to go and narrow it or do anything to the nose and to the lips. They stay and they will stay. So that's why I say I'm the Bantu Queen for life. Okay? And those are just straight up facts right there. Are there any features which people have made you very uncomfortable with and you found the need to change? Or did you change it? Or have you grown up to accept them and welcome them and they become your distinct feature? Well, there's me. In addition to this, so that's where the Bantu Queen thing has come from. So came on the side of my feminine qualities and masculine qualities. I seem to be a little bit higher on the masculine things. So some of the women form a little bit too, some of the men form a little bit too, but that's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Even in friendships, even in relationships, I am not everybody's cup of tea. You'll be too loud for some people, you'll be too quiet for people, you'll be too everything to that for some people. So at the end of the day, do what it is. So I stuck true to myself. I never tried to bend myself here to fit into anybody's idea of what a woman should be or how I should act. No. I didn't compromise that because you can only go so far when you're trying to compromise who you are and your personality in terms of friendship, in terms of relationships. So those who are for you will be for you and they'll stay by you, they'll understand you and they'll love you for who you are. Those who are not, please. Those are the ones who try to make excuses and this and that. To the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Just kick them off to the left and have done that so many times in my life. So many times, and it is absolutely okay. So now, this was me thinking out loud. Okay, I have never admired a woman in a sexual way. I haven't. So this is me thinking, because back in my culture, being a lesbian or having feelings towards someone of the same sex with you is deeply frowned upon. So I'm thinking now, if I manifested those qualities and I was up here in the West, England, Europe, somewhere in Europe, or even here in the US, will I have become a full-blown lesbian? Really? Because the reason why I'm saying that, or why I'm even thinking that, is because each time I see somebody who exhibits male, let me say you're a lady or woman, and you exhibit certain male qualities, people are quick to assume that, oh, she's got to be one of them. So that's the thing. So I'm thinking, okay, if I had those same qualities that I had growing up, and I was here in the US, would have become, would have been encouraged to explore that masculine side more and be into women? I don't know how the sexuality thing forms, because when you ask those, most people quite early on know if they're bi, if they're this, if they're that. I am not bi, okay? I am strictly dickly, okay? But having said that, in my young and wild days, I did kiss a girl, okay? Yes, we were in England at the time, and this was funny. We're out clubbing, we had a little bit too much to drink, and this girl was a lesbian. She made no secret about that, okay? And she was hitting on me, And my understanding is that they can tell if this person is a lesbian or this person isn't a lesbian. And I think she knew that I wasn't. They know because of her charm, because of everything and things like that, they think they can get you to explore that side or get you to be what they call bi-curious. Okay? So I had something to drink. The food was good. We were in a club dancing and all of that. And yes, we did kiss. But strange enough, I wasn't moved at all by the kiss. So let me tell you something, okay? If that kind of scenario doesn't get you horny and freaky, no, then clearly that is not your cup of tea, okay? The way I say it is, for example, if you're very drunk and you're hungry and you serve food, because at that time, anything should satisfy your hunger, right? Anything should taste delicious. So during that moment, if the food tastes horrible, then it is really, really horrible food, okay? Because during that time, everything seems to look good, everything seems to taste fine. But yes, I did kiss her. And I'm talking about tongue to tongue. It was a deep kiss. I just wasn't moved. Actually, I stood there being confused, and she, according to her, she's trying to work her magic and get it. And it was just awful. It was just awful for me, okay? It didn't work for me. So that's the first time I've kissed a lady, and that's it, is that I am a tomboy. I'm still a tomboy. Now and then I will venture. I wear nice gowns and things like that. Yes, it's just how it's happened to be. Okay, so yeah, so that was a funny question. So I am not bi. I am strictly dickly, if that answers your questions. And thanks for embarrassing me in public, okay? That is a good question, that is a good question, that is a good question. So that, are there any of you who are like me, who people mistake you because of, is there anybody out there like me who wonders? See, I was here, what if yes? Because I keep saying to myself, does your environment help mold your mind about your sexuality or not? The reason I'm saying that again is because for those who had feelings for the opposite very young, they couldn't express it because they're in an environment that they thought would be shunned upon. So they had to retract those feelings. I didn't have those feelings towards the opposite sex at all. But because the personality that I had at the time, the way I carried myself at the time, people really thought, okay, she has to be this or that. And I didn't really date that much at a young age. The first real boyfriend that I ever had actually was when I went to the university. That's when I actually lost my virginity. And I'm not talking about first year or second year, way deep down into my university ages. So, so up to then, people thought, okay, she's not dating that, she's not doing that. She has to clearly be something. I just wasn't ready. When it comes to things like that, I have to do things on my own time, at my own pace. I don't follow the crowd. I've never been, I've never been one to go with the crowd. If the crowd's opinion happens to coincide with mine, yes, then I will join the crowd. I have no problem standing on my own in the corner and standing up for what it is that I think is okay for me. So I've never been one to be pressured into doing anything at any time. But having said that, there are times when I look back at it, I say, oh my God, I did put myself in very, very dangerous situations, okay? Because come to think of it, I don't know about you, but I know when a man is hitting on me. I know when a girl's hitting on me. Well, now I know, but back then I didn't. I did it. I'm telling you. I'm going to tell you this story on a complete, okay, let me put it this way. I was going to tell you on a different day, but I have no problem talking about it now. When I was growing up, and they were talking about homosexuality. My first encounter with homosexuality is what I saw on TV, as portrayed in the movies. And lots of stuff in the movies is fiction, right? It's made up stuff. So I didn't even think this was real. And again, there were no people around me who lived such a lifestyle. So it just remained this abstract thing in my mind. So even when I was in a real life situation among them, I didn't even think, it didn't even dawn on me that that's what was going on. All right, skipping forward. I was in England at the time, in the heart of London, yes. And this is what happened. I met this very, very nice girl at work, okay? I thought she was just being friendly because where I'm from, it's okay for 10 girls to be in the bathroom naked or dressing up without looking at anybody in any sexual way. It's okay for 3 girls to sleep in bed, 3 friends to sleep in bed, without even thinking of sex, without being turned on, without none of that, just being friends. So it's very okay. So I thought it was the same thing back then, or over there. I just thought it was the same thing. So now there we were at work. And apparently everybody knew she was a lesbian. I didn't pick up on any of those cues, okay? Because I didn't know what a lesbian was. I'd never met a lesbian. That was the very first encounter I was having with a lesbian, okay? So she was being very friendly and things like that. And she was, she was really into me. She would take me out for lunch. She would pull back my seat and things like that. I just thought she was being friendly. Honestly, I didn't really think, that was me, this naive girl from Africa. I didn't read any much into it. But everybody who knew that she was a lesbian said, oh, she may have really found herself a very good girl. We have the same schedule. We will only work together, get on the same bus. She would drop me home. At the time I was living with friends, I came and told them that I met this really nice girl at work. She's showing me the rope. I said, hang on. We don't think it's just being nice here, okay? This girl may actually fancy you. She may be into you. You need to be careful. I'm like, please. She doesn't fancy me. How can you even fancy this or be with it? Oh, no. She's just being a good, outright nice girl, okay? And as the days were going by, as the weeks were going by, I could see, in hindsight now, there were differences. She was more touchy-feely, more hugging this, more this, so that, will go on. Now that I think about what will be date nights. Oh, there's this movie at the theaters and this movie and this and that. Come, let's go this or that. But again, I thought that's what girlfriends do because in my background, we used to hang out as girlfriends like that. There was no big deal. Well, for me, I didn't see it as a big deal. I didn't read anything into it. So yeah, we were there and we were sitting this or that. So I thought about a month or two and things like that. I think got to that point in her time when she said, okay, I think it's about time to make my big move because at that moment in time, of course, I thought she was friend zone. She was in the friend zone. So I think she decided she wanted to make her mark and make things a little bit different for her. So she decided I went into the locker room to get something. I can't remember. This was a long time ago. Okay, this is way, way, way before I started having kids. Okay, and even the time that I told her I kissed a girl, that was when I was young and freaky. Okay, that was way, way, way before I started having kids. Let me just make that clear. Okay, I'm a good mom. Well, I think I am. Anywho, going back into the locker room. So, when you can tell that somebody's coming behind you, I could tell. It was just the two of us. So when I turned around, she was just like there. And then she put her hand around me and kind of gave me this shoulder massage. That was the first time. That's something got to me that this doesn't look right. Because that felt like an intimate gesture to me. That I hadn't seen with her before. Okay? Okay. So, okay. What is this? So in my surprise, I turned around. And she stood face to face and she kind of cradled my face. Lifted me up. She's a little bit taller than me. I'm only 5'3", taller than me. Lifted up and I caressed my jaws and things like that. And oh my God, okay. Now we have a problem. That's me thinking and my heart was racing. And she kissed me. And I didn't kiss her back. Let me tell you, I overreacted. I was so mad. I pushed her back. I got my back out. I was fuming and I was carrying my back pressing. And then the two people said, Laura, what's happening? What's going on? I said, do you believe the nerve of that lady trying to kiss me in the closet? Come, closet. Locker room. I said, do you believe the nerve of that girl trying to kiss me in the locker room? I'm like, hang on. We thought you guys were a couple. You guys thought I was what? No. So, well, long story short, I went home and when I told the friends that I was living what happened, and it was really embarrassing. They said, "Oh, but it's the links we told you. We did that. This is what is going on here in the West. That's not how girlfriends behave among girlfriends unless there's some sexual connotation to it, okay? And I sat back and I thought, oh my God. I said, okay, I think I owe her an apology. I need to sit down and talk with her because I could tell I overreacted and I hurt her feelings because it must have taken a lot for her to do all of that, you know, her emotions and everything vested in it and everything, you know. So I thought about it that night. I said, you know what, I was supposed to be off the next day. I said, you know what, I'm going to meet her. We're going to sit down and talk about it. When I explain my background, what it is that I'm coming from, you know, and then offer my apology in that way, hopefully it'll go down well. Okay. Eventually, I ended up going to the manager. I went to the manager's office because she did come to work, but she completely avoided me. She wouldn't talk to me. She wouldn't look my way. It was so awkward. And then I told you we did most of we worked the same shifts. We were on work with the same schedule almost all the time. So it just became so tense, so awkward. And because she was avoiding me, she didn't want to talk to me. I didn't know how to approach her to even get her to decide to even offer the apology and things like that. So I went to the manager's office. I told the manager that, listen, I need to apologize about something. And I explained to her what happened, where I'm coming from and everything. And she said, you know what? We thought you guys were a couple. The only problem that they had at that time is that, you know, they didn't really encourage relationships. So at the workplace. So if it became established, because according to the manager, we're into insurance and we were building a thing. So if it became established that we were a couple, they were going to have one of us leave that team and go somewhere else because it's not something that was encouraged or, you know, and things like that. But hearing that, she was like, so you're not a lesbian? I said, no, you're not. I said, no, I don't even know what I was till now. You know, this is the first time. I just thought she was being friendly. I overreacted. She doesn't want to talk to me. She doesn't want to look at me. This and that. I am no longer comfortable being here and things like that. Is there any chance, please? Either get me off the schedule, not working with her. You know, not because I was avoiding her because she's a lesbian, but I just think with the way things transpired, it would have been a good thing for us to keep a distance from each other till she figures it out, I figure out, or whatever it is that we're figuring out, or till we get over it, basically. It's just a matter of getting over it. It was really, oh, guys, see the tail. Anyhow, so now the manager's okay. I think I can help with that because at the end of the day, teamwork makes the dream work. But if a member of the team is feeling that way and that's what's going on and things like that, it's hard to bounce back from, right? So what happened is that I was moved to a different unit. And a different unit, guess what? The manager himself there was so gay. I didn't even still know what was going on. Well, that's a story for a different time, okay? But again, as I said, now, growing up the way I did, the kind of personality I had, if I was here when things were openly encouraged and people just are not ashamed to hit on you or take the chance or try to turn you back here, would I have actually ventured and gone and done all of that? I don't know. Because as of now, I have never fancied a woman in that way and things like that. So I hope I answered your question. I hope the talk about my sexuality is cleared, okay? I am me. I am LA Lakes. I just do me, all right? And I am strictly deeply, okay? Have any of you had any awkward encounters with somebody of the same sex that misread the signals and took it into something else? How did you handle it? How did you react? Did you misbehave like me? But again, that was I'm talking about a very, very long time ago. I have grown, I have evolved, I have learned. And I have still come across those situations and I've handled it a lot differently. Because come this way, nobody wants to be rejected. But if you're going to do it in a way that at least the person's dignity is still maintained, right? How would you want to be treated if you're in that position? Anywho, that's your girl checking out for now. This is Ella Links checking out for now. And I do me straight up.